Hey guys, it's Archon. Welcome to Inferno Friday. This week I haven't played a lot of Diablo. I've actually been taking a small break from Diablo to play Hearthstone, and I'm pretty addicted. I've played a lot of Hearthstone this week, and I think I'll continue to. But don't worry, it's only a break I'm taking from Diablo. I'm still playing it from time to time. In fact, the console version comes out on Tuesday, and me and my brother Dreadnought plan to stream all day long the console version from his couch. It should be a lot of fun. And I'm still keeping up on the Diablo news, so I've been checking out Diablo fans and some other Diablo related websites so I can bring you all the new information that has come out about the expansion in the last week. If you haven't seen my recent videos on the expansion, I'll put them in the description below so you can get all caught up. This video is just going to cover information I've found since I made last week's video. Right after last week's video, this video was posted with King Kongor interviewing Josh Mosquera, and he asks a lot of questions. Most of them he doesn't get the answer to. Not a lot of new information from the video. We did find out we're not getting rune words, but I think most of us probably imply that. The one piece of information I got from the video that I hadn't heard before is that they're probably going to increase the movement speed cap. We knew that you could put Paragon points into movement speed, but it looks like they're going to increase the cap from 25. They didn't say what to. Also, there's a lot of information on Diablo fans' expansion recap. They've been constantly updating this, so if you already checked it out before, you might want to check it out again, or I'll just go over everything that's new since last week to save you guys the time. First up, let's talk about the Crusader. Something new I learned about the Crusader this week is that they can use two-handed weapons. They mentioned two-handed flails and two-handed swords, and they also have a passive that allows them to carry a two-handed weapon in one hand as long as they're using a Crusader shield, which I thought was pretty cool, and it seemed like it's almost necessary. Below that, Diablo fans has listed the active skills that they know about so far. It's not a complete list, of course, and it doesn't have all of the runes, but these are, I'm guessing, just the ones they found from screenshots and video footage. But a lot of them require you to have a shield, so it seems like they might just plan on you always having a shield as a Crusader. And then there was a few skills that I found interesting. Of course, they have Blessed Hammer. You can be a hammer pally if you want to. It's probably not going to be very effective in D3. In D2, people would spec hammer pally and they just have hammers flying all over them, killing all the enemies around them. But of course, in D3, you have a lot more skills, and you can't just dump all your points into one skill and make an entire build around it. But Blessed Hammer is here, and so is Blessed Shield. I thought Blessed Shield was kind of interesting. Hurl a celestial shield through the air, smashing it into enemies and ricocheting it between them. It's the exact same skill as Captain America has if you guys have played Marvel Heroes, and I really like that skill, so I think it'll be a lot of fun. But there'll be a link in the description to this page here, so if you want to, you can look through the list of skills yourself and read them. There was one passive skill that I thought was also kind of interesting. You can increase your proc coefficient. I haven't heard anything that increases a proc coefficient before, so I thought that was kind of an interesting skill. And a lot of the skills are based around getting a lot of defense and being around a lot of mobs. You even have a taunt, so it seems like the Crusader really is going to be as close as we're going to get to a tank-like class in Diablo 3. Moving on, Act 5, the new act, looks like it's going to be a lot darker than the rest of the game. As you guys probably know, Diablo 3 has gotten a lot of criticism for being a little bit happier and brighter than its predecessors, and it looks like they're responding to that criticism by making Act 5 really dark, and people seem to be really happy about that, so I'm excited to see that as well. Something cool about Act 5 is that you can seamlessly transition between interior and exterior zones. You can just be walking outside, go inside, and now you're just inside. There's no like fade to black, come back up. You just walk between interior and exterior zones. And the exterior zones are all supposed to be fully randomized. Another piece of criticism that Diablo 3's gotten is there's not enough randomization. It looks like they're adding more of that. That should be really cool. And the size of Act 5 should be similar to about the size of Act 2 in Diablo 3. We also learned a little bit more about Paragon 2.0. Last week we learned that as you get Paragon levels, you earn Paragon points that you can assign to your characters to give them more stats. What I learned this week is that those points can be assigned to each character. So if you earn 100 Paragon points from your Paragon levels, you can give every character 100 points. So it seems like when you're making alts, you could just give them a bunch of points and you could have like super buff alts right from the get-go, which would be pretty cool, I think. Last week there was some confusion on how your current Paragon levels would translate over to the account-wide Paragon level once the expansion came out, but it was clarified since I made the video. They'll add up all the experience from your current characters, all the Paragon experience that is, and that will be applied to your account-wide Paragon level. So we don't know what the actual experience requirements for each level will be, so we can't predict what level you'll be yet when the expansion comes out, but all the experience you have right now will get translated over. So it doesn't matter which character you're Paragon leveling, as long as they're not level 100 yet, all the experience you're getting for Paragon right now, you'll be able to keep in the expansion. And they also clarified that if you have two characters of the same class, both of their Paragon experience will still count. At least that's the current plan. All of this, of course, is subject to change. But that helps me because I already had a Paragon 100 wizard, so I just started Paragon leveling a new wizard. That way I can use all my gear and still play a wizard, but get something for it when the expansion comes out. They also clarified that you can respec, and they gave the stats, at least the tentative stats that you might be able to put points into with your Paragon points. They say there's core stats, strength, dex, int, and vit, attack, which is crit chance, crit damage, attack speed, cooldown reduction. It seems like cooldown reduction is a new affix they're adding to items. Defense, which is health percent, resist all armor, dodge percent, block percent, and utility, which is movement speed, magic find, and gold pickup radius. So that's a lot of stats that you can put points into. I'm kind of disappointed that it's just the same stats that you have on your gear. I would have loved to see some more elaborate customization there, but it might have just been too difficult. They might want to allocate those kind of things to the new exciting legendaries they're bringing out to make the legendaries really the game changers. But just some character customization I think will be really cool. It looks like in addition to adding new affixes to items, they'll also be adding new affixes to monsters, to elite packs. And one that has been mentioned is Crossfire. However, we have no idea what it does, but feel free to speculate. Crossfire. Also, they've mentioned one new ranged monster type that will shoot at you as he's moving away from you. So that sounds super annoying. Way to go. More monsters that can attack you and run away from you. That should be a lot of fun. Toughness, we don't know what this is yet. Toughness shows up on the character sheet on some of the screenshots and videos from Reaper of Souls, and Diablo fans thinks that it's probably the effective health pool of the character. If you don't know what effective health pool is, it's basically how much damage your character can actually take before dying. So it takes into consideration your health, your armor, and your all res, and just gives you one number that displays how tanky your character is. So that'd be kind of nice to have on the character sheet. Also, Nephilim Valor stacks you'll start getting at level 30, it looks like. Of course, all of this I'm sure is tentative. There'll probably be one or two more character slots. Followers will have side quests in Act 5. You might be getting a bigger stash. Every time you kill a boss for the first time, you're guaranteed to get a legendary. They talked about that a while ago. They're making changes to the chat system. I'm hoping they're making changes to the matchmaking system as well. They've talked about that a bit. As many of you guys know, there's going to be a patch that comes out right before the expansion, and they'll have a lot of the game systems. They released what will be included in the patch. These are the things you'll get for free, of course, and the people who don't buy the expansion will get this regardless. Paragon 2.0, Loot 2.0, Loot Runs, and Nephilim Trials. It looks like everything else you'll have to pay for, so that would be the new act, the new class, and some of those other things. Finishing up the Diablo fans recap, it looks like beta for Reaper of Souls should begin this year. I just really hope they don't make the same mistake they made with the original Diablo 3 beta, and that they do a full beta. I think the biggest mistake they've made such far is doing that 1 to level 13 beta in Diablo and never doing a full beta test. There's so many predictions they made about the game which turned out to be wrong, which I think they would have realized if they just did a full beta for an extended period of time before releasing the game. So please do that for Reaper of Souls. Please do a full beta. Test the whole thing. I know some of the storyline might be given away. I'm not really sure exactly why they don't like doing a full beta, but it would be so helpful. I mean, I think the developers do have a much bigger understanding of the game now. I'm not as worried about them making bad predictions, but still, I think it's worth it. Please do a full beta. Hopefully we'll have that sometime this year, according to the recap. Also, expansion will not come at the same time for all platforms, and as we know, we're going to get a lot more information at BlizzCon, and I'll be there. Last up, before we do our weekly item giveaway, if you're into Diablo 3 lore, which I'm not really that into, I don't really follow the storyline much, but if you really like the storyline of Diablo 3, you gotta watch this video. It's an awesome video. I even enjoyed it, where someone's interviewing Josh Mascara and pretty much just guessing all the lore behind Reaper of Souls, and he has some really big insights and some good guesses, and Josh Mascara even confirms some of them. So it's a really interesting video. You should definitely check it out. Each week I randomly pick one comment below the video, and that person wins 50 million gold on EU or US. Last week's winner was Robin Rudolphson. Robin Rudolphson says Josh is greater than Jay. Congratulations, Robin. You've won 50 million gold. If you win on the channel, all you need to do is come on over to my Twitch live stream. There's a link below in the description. Let me know that you've won either in chat or through a message. I'll have you prove it's you on YouTube, and then I'll get you the 50 million gold as soon as possible. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please hit that subscribe button if you did, and I'll have another one for you soon.